It's a Jurgen Klopp versus Pep Guardiola end to the season, and obviously it's going to be the last time we see it in the Premier League, potentially forever. And in this video, we're going to break down where Guardiola and Man City are, and obviously Liverpool with Jurgen Klopp. I think this rivalry is going to end in a crescendo for the race to the Premier League title, and of course, both sides are still in the FA Cup as well. It's a bit of a shame that both sides aren't in the Champions League, because that would have been an incredible kind of narrative. But we're going to talk about both sides. Obviously, I have to start off with City. How City handled Tottenham on Friday night. I was there. It was an amazing experience in the final 10-15 minutes to see City grind out a win in really difficult circumstances. I think Ange Postecoglou, for the first time this season, went very, very defensive, very, very narrow at points, very, very hard to play through. Obviously, De Bruyne had to come on and change things, so did Doku. So it says a lot that Guardiola put out a very, very strong 11, and Ange Postecoglou was very, very hard to break down in his Spurs 11. He was very, very respectful of the City side. And I cannot express how many games I've seen with Guardiola where the control of the ball is exceptional, the finishing maybe not so. A couple of chances blazed over from Alvarez in particular. But somehow you leave the stadium with a 1-0 win, a clean sheet, especially at this time of the season. How many times have we seen it? It seems to happen season after season with Guardiola. And that is one of the most important results going for Guardiola in many, many months. If not symbolic, for whatever happens this season, it's very symbolic for obviously the first goal scored at a Tottenham stadium for 8 years, if you obviously discount Wembley, which doesn't really count. So Man City, literally before our eyes, have kind of broken this record that even someone like Sergio Aguero, someone like Haaland couldn't kind of break down until, obviously, Nathan Ake scored that ugly, clunky little goal with Vicario flapping at it. And I think this is all massively important, because if Man City have come off the back of a treble and I go into the new White Hart Lane in a tough atmosphere, it's a hard place to go. It's a very, very quick pitch, and Spurs have big opportunities. If Man City, off the back of last season, the success, the history, the prestige of what happened in the end of May, early June of last year, are then able to kind of rewrite history are still looking for big victories, big decisive moments, and that happened at Tottenham. A 1-0 win in the FA Cup against Tottenham is huge. It really is. So this City side are gearing up. I mean, I'd love for Liverpool and City to meet in the FA Cup final, but I think City are going to get to the final. I really do. Luton Town is the next game for Man City. And it wouldn't surprise you if that kind of final domestic game for Jurgen Klopp would be against Pep Guardiola's Man City. And how beautiful would that be for the narrative, for the plot, some people are saying on TikTok these days. And that's where I think City are. I think City are in a very, very, very strong position. Erling Haaland isn't even in the side at the moment. De Bruyne's coming back. He looks so fit, so sharp. And he was bouncing people off of him at the new White Hart Lane. So all in all, the Man City experience at the moment for a Man City fan is very, very good. Because not only do the side have quality, in this Man City side, whether it's Pellegrini, Mancini, whoever, always had quality, always been given quality players to work with. We're very, very lucky in that regard, of course. But the hunger, and that is Guardiola through and through. How can you make a side who've achieved everything? You know, we're hearing Phil Foden and Kyle Walker kind of in the hotel after Istanbul sort of saying, we're never going to get a feeling like this again. And Guardiola's managed to get them grinding out 1-0 wins at White Hart Lane when the pressure was on it. It was a really tough, ugly game. The result on Friday night, I've not covered it on this channel until now, but I look back and I think it was one of the most seminal moments of this season for Man City. It's really, really important. And the clean sheet to boot as well. Really good from Ortega, really good from Ake. Vardy I thought was fantastic. Kyle Walker as well. So that's the Man City perspective. Man City, I think there'll be people in the camp thinking that 3 trophies are on the card again. I'm not going to say a back-to-back treble. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But why not? Who's going to beat Man City in the Champions League? Obviously, there's some great sides, but only a couple. And this is the point of the video. Who can beat Man City in the Premier League and the FA Cup? And that is Liverpool Football Club. Now, I did a video talking about the game yesterday for Liverpool, and upon reflection, I think it was even more promising than previously given. Obviously, you have to take into account that Liverpool have got Norwich City at home. It's probably the dream fixture in all of the English football pyramid that they'd want. You know, I think they'd rather take Norwich City over like League Two opposition. That's how good their record is against the side. But was there any kind of process for any of the players where you thought, oh, these guys are down in tools, these guys are a little bit flat about the announcement? And there absolutely was not. There seemed to be no debate. It seemed to be like a continuation of where Liverpool are going in their trajectory. And these great managers, they're more than just putting out 11 blokes to kick a ball around. Their philosophical approach will stay at the football club that they're representing. Same with Guardiola at Man City. Same with Guardiola at Barcelona. Barcelona are still spent 10 years, 15 years, not 15, 10, trying to get back to the Guardiola system. Obviously, the rumours of him going back there at some point always circulate. That's the aura of the man. It's obviously similar to when Guardiola took over himself. You know, they were probably looking for what Cruyff did 15, 20 years prior as well. The great managers, you know, Man United are always trying to reach the Ferguson way of playing, the Ferguson level of success and dominance. So these great managers live on forever. And what Liverpool have got with Jurgen Klopp is a guy that he announces mid-season that he's going to leave. For a lot of people, that'd be, why are you doing that? He's able to use that as kind of, I think he might be using it as rocket fuel to get even 5, 10, 15% more out of these players. I think these players are willing to play to the bone, play with injuries, because they know they're never going to be able to work with this guy ever again in the same capacity. Maybe they will at a different club or international level, but Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool, it's special. It's a one-off. It's a generation. He's a generational manager. He's one of the greatest managers the league's ever seen. So against Norwich City, yeah, it's an easy game. It's a standard game, but the fact that you can see more out of these players, that they want to stay with the project and stay competing, it's absolutely huge. Now let's just talk about maybe the rivalry of City and Liverpool, because obviously this season it was a draw. It was classic kind of City had a lot of the ball and scored first, and Liverpool get back in the game with hard work, resilience and quality, obviously from Trent in the final few minutes, or the final 10, 15 minutes. So the fact that we don't know anything about City or Liverpool on the pitch at the moment, and obviously there's a game coming up in, must be about just over a month at Anfield. It's going to be one of the biggest games of both managers in recent times, because it could give up the opportunity for both clubs to mathematically pull away from any kind of Premier League title race. But imagine this. Imagine a Man City, Liverpool, FA Cup, Premier League race. Oh, it would be unbelievable. And it wouldn't surprise me, because both clubs have got the quality to go far this season and win the trophies that they need. And I think Klopp needs it a little bit more than Guardiola, because he doesn't have tenure anymore. He's going to leave. And they're on for a quadruple. And it really, I tweeted this a couple of days ago. It wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool walked away and they've got 4 trophies, if you include the Europa League in some sort of quadruple. It's a bit of a shame that his final season won't be in the Champions League, it's in the Europa League. That's a bit of a shame, of course, based on what happened last season. But you honestly, June 15th, you'll look down at your phone, you think, wow, Liverpool won 4 trophies. That will be possible. And it'll be very similar with Man City. I think Man City are very, very strong contenders for the Champions League, for the FA Cup and the league. And both clubs are fighting for at least 2 of those. Scary times. I think it's a Guardiola Klopp era ending clash, if that makes sense. Very keen to see what you think in the comments down below. And obviously I'll be covering, I think Arsenal are playing midweek. I'll be covering that game, and obviously the big weekend action as well. I'll see you very, very soon.